Hey all, it's me. Just doing a video because of what's on my mind. It's easier for me to just do a video instead of a live, you know. But it's a beautiful sunny day here in Minnesota. It's 60 degrees. Motorcycles are out. I got a meeting tonight. Yes, you know, I will be on the unaffiliated. But you know, it is what it is. So about a month ago, y'all know I was in an election. I lost. And you guys knew I was upset. And, ooh, squirrel. And you knew that I was basically stabbed in the back. Well, very few people know why or what happened. I was not the cause of it. I had nothing to do with it. No. You might say I'm a narcissist. No, I'm not. I do take responsibility for my wrongdoings. If I did something wrong, or if I did something, I take responsibility for it. I don't go put blame on someone else. Well, maybe unless that other person is partly to blame for it, then I'll say something. But if it's I caused it and it was my fault, I take responsibility for it. This wasn't my fault. For once, the asshole wasn't at fault. But anyways, about what was it? Yeah, it was. 3 days before our election happened, that there was a pre-event for the Donnie Smith Bike Show. It's like March 8th. I think that was the date. And I was there representing one organization that I'm in. I'm in 3 organizations, well, actually 4, but you guys know 2 of the main organizations I'm in, and I really don't want to say who they are. But I was representing one, and there's 5 people from the other one, of that chapter I'm in, from the other organization. I talked to 4 of them. Out of the 5. Talked to 4. I didn't talk to anybody else that night other than Donnie Smith himself, which is a cool guy, by the way. If you ever get to talk to him, do it. He's a cool guy. He's got some pretty damn good stories. But anyways, I was talking to a few, and I mentioned that I wanted to fundraise from my other organization that I'm in, because I am a representative for that organization and I've got some assistants. And I was talking about how I want to fundraise for me and my assistants for our trips, because everything comes out of pocket. I get a little bit of a budget for traveling, but the rest don't. My assistants do not. So I want to try to fundraise and get, try to make some things easier, cheaper for them. Less costly, let's say. Well, I told 4 of those 5 about that. And that's one reason that was used. They said that I was voted out. No, I'm not upset that I lost an election. No, I'm not upset. What I'm upset about is what transpired what happened to cause me to lose the election. I did nothing. I showed up, I said my piece, and I voted. I did nothing. I didn't do nothing before that either. So that's this. I was very upset because I knew. Once I figured it out, something happened. Because at the meeting they're all fighting for the one person to help two positions, on the board, and her fiance was voted in as president. So now 5 officers, one holds 2, and her fiance holds the presidency. So there's 3 positions. So if those 2 don't show up, we can't have a meeting because 3 of the 5 officer positions are gone. So we don't have that. But anyways, it was. So after the election, I was really upset. I was really pissed. I was steaming. I told the incoming president, I don't want you at my house. I don't want nothing to do with you. Because after the election, he contacted me. I said, you got the biggest balls right now to even message me. I said, damn, you got some fucking balls. And he wanted to talk. I said, I don't want to talk to you right now. I want nothing to do with you. You come to my house, you ain't going to like it. You ain't going to like what happens. So, and I kept stressing that, so he never came to my house. But, I didn't talk to him for 2 weeks. I had nothing to do with him for 2 weeks. I called him a piece of shit. I called him almost every name in the book for 2 weeks. Well, now he needs the merchandise I had for Donnie Smith to set up at the booth. So I'll make arrangements to meet with him elsewhere. And I give him the merchandise. I said, okay, let's talk. What do you got to say? Because my anxiety, when he messages me, my anxiety ran high. And I don't like my anxiety running that high. Well, he told me one of the fundraising that I said I was going to use the chapter to fundraise for my other organization that I'm in. I was going to use the chapter funds I'm like, no. I've never said that. And he goes, well, that's what came back to me. I said, I know what I said. And I know who I talked to. And I never said that. What I said was, I want to fundraise for me and my assistants to help things less costly for us or for the events that we need to go to. Never once did I mention the chapter. Not a one. And I told him, I said, if I was going to use the chapter, or request funds from the chapter, I would have came and asked so-and-so and you and the chapter to do so. This is, over here is this group, and I will use my stuff for that group. But I won't involve us or the chapter for what I'm going to do, what I'm doing over here. I'm not going to rob Peter to pay Paul. That's not my money. So that was the one. That was the one thing. There was 2. That was the main one. The other one was, he's going to make money off of both organizations. He told me that. I said, how am I going to make money from both. He said, well, you go to the board of directors meetings, yeah. You're going to submit a receipt to both. I'm like, no. And he said, yeah, you submit a receipt to both, you're going to make money off of one, and that's illegal. And he kept telling me how illegal it was. And I said, no. I said, if I stayed chapter rep, I would submit the BOD receipt to the chapter, because I'm there as a chapter rep as well as a representative for the other organization. But I said that would go to the chapter. I said, as far as the other organization, there are 3 events that I have to use that for. And I'm saving that for those events. So the board of directors meeting comes to the chapter. How? I get one receipt. And I have to submit it, one to the chapter. If I submit it twice, I have to submit it to the secretary. No, the treasurer. Yeah, the treasurer. They keep track of this stuff so they can see if there's double receipt, and then they'll question it. And I said, but I got to submit one receipt to one or the other. I'm not going to be making money. I don't understand how I'm going to make money off this. I just don't. But that's what he told me, and I'm like, no. Oh, no. I'm an honest person. I don't cheat my organizations. I don't. No. So that was another big reason why him and his fiance and others voted for his fiance, because of those 2 reasons. Yeah. Both of which he could have came to me between that Sunday and that Tuesday to talk to me, to hear what I had to say from my side, but he didn't do that. For the fundraising, he said, I had 2 people whose words are golden that told me this, that after you left, this happened. Okay, one, we left at the same time. So I don't know how after he left this happened. No, we left at the same time. And I talked about it before we left, way before we left. So yeah, which leads me to believe his people whose words are golden came from him and his fiancée. Plain and simple, because, yeah, I left at the same time. As far as the double dipping, as they put it, I'm not stupid. I'm a very honest person when it comes to that stuff. Why would I cheat my organizations? Why? There's nothing in it for me. I don't do anything. I don't get anything out of it. These are trusted positions. Why would I do anything? So that's what happened. That's why I was voted out. And like I said, I did nothing. All this could have been easily cleared up if he would have just came and talked to me in those 2 days, which he didn't do. Which I think he refused to do because he wanted to believe his own narrative and not actually get the truth. So that's why I lost the election. Like I said, I'm not mad I've lost. I'm not upset that I lost. I'm upset at what transpired or what it took for me to lose. And I didn't do anything. But at the meeting, they're throwing an argument because we actually tied for the spot and we voted and she came out on top. Well, what happened was the revote should have been private ballot, secret ballot. Didn't happen. The regular election is all secret ballot. But the revote should have been secret ballot, which was not. I fought for that one so hard. What they did is they had a podium and they put a piece of paper, my name, her name, and tally marks. And a sergeant at arms sitting there to make sure it's fair. And I kept saying, it needs to be secret ballot. It needs to be secret ballot. People can see who's voting for who. People can see the tallies. They can see, because if you see a person who's getting the tally marks and they have a lot more than the other, they tend to go for the person who has the most. They do. So that wasn't secret ballot. I called that out when it was happening. I called it out afterwards, and nothing was done. My voice fell on deaf ears. So she won. Afterwards, they're trying to talk to her and say, we have more than enough people here to fill every position that we have. You should pick one position, give up the other. Well, if she gave up the other, it would come to me. It would, because I was the other person running. No, her friends kept saying, well, he's holding two positions. I'm holding a state board position, and I'm holding a chapter position, which is not the same as holding two chapter positions. Right? So yeah, there's a little bit of conspiracy to get me out of the position. And I called bullshit on it quite a few times. So that's basically what happened. And he's refusing to take the responsibility for not contacting me, nothing. For his part in it, he ain't taking no responsibility. Nope, not a one. So, since I talked to him, I let things go. My anxiety ain't that high anymore. I'm moving ahead by being professional and cordial. Doesn't mean I have to talk to him any other time. When it comes to chapter business, I'll talk to him. I'll be polite and cordial, professional. But other than that, I don't really have to do anything. I don't have to. If I see him and it doesn't involve chapter stuff, I don't have to be nice to him. I can be a complete fucking asshole if I wanted to. Right? But my nature is I'm a polite, cordial, professional person. If I don't like someone. Otherwise, I just don't talk to them. I avoid them and just, because the hassle ain't worth it. So that is that. That's why I am not in the position I'm in. I am just a representative for this other organization now. And as of last night at our chapter meeting, he was saying that he is the current president. I said, no, you're president. You're not president for another 2 weeks. Your position takes over at this event here in 2 weeks. All positions kick in at this event. No one is a president. You are still vice president. He is not vice president yet, and she is not chapter rep yet. That's not how he ran it. He ran it as him as president. His vice president-elect was there, up there. Yeah, it was a complete shit show last night. our state director, our state coordinator, was there but didn't stop it because, okay, it would just be another fight, another hassle. Pick your battle, basically. But he kept, I made my rep report, so that was fine. But yes, that's what happened for the election. That's why I got voted out. I was completely railroaded. Backstabbed. Yep, that's what happened. So now I can't trust this person. I can trust the organization. I just can't trust certain people now. Looking at switching chapters for me and the wife. But I'm probably going to do a dual membership and keep a membership in the chapter, but switch my mate over to another one. Because I really want to see him fall flat on his face. And I want to see him fall hard. I want to see him break his face open and just, yeah. That's about my extent of dislike for him. I don't wish it upon him. I just want to see it. I don't wish it upon him. It's getting later as time goes. I no longer want him to get hit and get seriously hurt. Nope, don't want that. So, yeah. There you go. There's the story of that. If you got any questions on it, or you think I'm leaving something out, come message me, come talk to me, and I'll fill you in, and we'll talk some more. But that's basically the gist of it. You know, I really want him to fail at what his job for the chapter. I want her to fail for her positions in the chapter. I want Carmen to come and give them the justice they deserve. For them to get what they did to me. That's about it. So I would, like I said, if you like what I say, great. If you don't, that's all right. I'm not, it's a free country. But you can like, subscribe, definitely comment. If you got something to say, leave a comment. I'll get back to you. If you want a personal chat, let me know. We'll talk personally and stuff like that. I don't really care. But yeah, like, subscribe, share me out, comment in the comment section. Watch The Unaffiliated. Wednesdays, 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern Time. The Biker Roadhouse. That's a hit or miss on a Friday or Saturday. And the usual time is about 6 p.m. Central. Also, check out Salty Badger. Mythical Riders, Mythical Themes. Check them out. Great show. It's about anything paranormal to, well, mostly paranormal from what I've been seeing from them lately. But they do other stuff like UFOs and stuff like that. It's a great channel, so go check them out. That's Lolly and Froggy, Mythical Riders, Mythical Themes. You got Motobomb, Salty Badger, and I know I'm leaving some other people out. So, yeah, if I'm leaving you out when I was giving a shout out, it's not intentional and just not remembering at the moment. So, yeah, come check us out. Y'all have a great time. Y'all be safe. Again, if you got any questions, just reach out to me. I'll answer them as best I can. I'll talk at you later.